Hey guys, Lemur here, currently 407 LP, Grandmaster, a few games off of Challenger, hopefully I can get that soon. I play a lot of Ahri, Syndra, Zoe, and Akali. I wanted to do a sort of longer video. I know I do a lot of long videos, but I think they're actually the best way to learn because there's like a lot of information that you can learn, although they might not be as entertaining. I'm partially doing this for myself, but if anyone wants to also listen along, they can to hear some of my thought process. But I'm going to kind of title this video an Overexplain. And Overexplain is kind of just something of over-explaining a lot of the things that I'm doing, so hopefully you guys can learn and hopefully I get my thought process and what I'm doing out loud so that it makes more sense. And if I say something wrong, like I can be like, maybe I shouldn't be playing like that. Maybe it could go differently. Just kind of helps me think about the game. Um, this game we're playing Ahri versus Syndra, which is a very popular matchup. Um, let's check one thing. Um, this game was against a Syndra main, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And the runes I decided to take this game. Okay, this doesn't show my runes. So sorry. Um, Here are my runes right here. I went with Glacial. I think Electrocute can work against Syndra as well. But I think since my team um, had a lot of damage, my Scion was Lethality. He let us know in Champion Select. And we already have AP damage from Zillin and Zac. I think going Glacial is particularly good here. Generally, I sometimes do take Electrocute into Syndra if I think I need it to win the game. If I'm our only damage source or something, like a low damage ADC like Senna. Um, then I consider taking electrocute in those situations. But anyways, I went for the stopwatch. I didn't go for footwear. Magical footwear is actually pretty good into like a lot of these matchups, and I think it's a very like OP rune. However, in this matchup, um, you want to buy Merc Treads as early as you can because it is such a scary matchup and she can kind of just one-shot you, especially if she has electrocute, especially if she has ignite. Um, so instead, I decided to take Stopwatch because I don't really want to take Magic Footwear. Hextech Flash is a consideration because there's an interesting buggy interaction with her R, but I don't think it's particularly useful on Glacial Ahri because you're like looking to RN, then GLP, then look for your charm. You're not looking to like do the fast combo like Electrocute Ahri would want. Um, and then here, there's a good consideration for all three of these. I decided to go with Minion Dematerializer to get the push, but I think any of these can work. And then Cosmic Insight's very good. I think Approach Velocity is also kind of underrated, and Time Warp Tonic is also good. So I think all of those 6 runes I just listed are kind of personal preference. Um, but I think Cosmic Insight will always provide you the most value because not only is it CDR in max CDR, so you can get to 45%, but it also gives you the item CDR, which a lot of people don't know. And so, you're building 3 active items. You're building GLP, Twin Shadows, and probably Zanya's. And so this will reduce all of them by like a few seconds. And then lastly, you're always going to want to take Taste of Blood or Cheap Shot. Cheap Shot I take in lanes that I know are going to be easy. And then and then I think you should almost always go Ingenious Hunter, which reduces the active item cooldowns. It's not always the case that you should go this, but because I think there's also a consideration for Ultimate Hunter and Relentless. I would never take Ravenous Hunter. It doesn't really make any sense. And then generally I go attack speed against Syndra, but I was just feeling like I wanted more damage for some reason this game. But attack speed helps you auto in lane while still managing to dodge Syndra Qs. Uh, and then obviously the magic resist because I'm against Syndra. So that's kind of my reasoning for my runes. I actually do change my runes up fairly often, and I think the runes are actually highly based upon what you're actually playing and just how you plan to play, how your personal play style is, and a lot of different things. I don't think there's actually one set rune page that's always going to be good, even on champions that people think are like solved. Unless a rune is like super broken, but yeah. So I don't want to go over this too much, but if you guys want to check out my other video where it's how to win or lose in 3 minutes, this I kind of explain why I go for this ward right here. So Olaf, he always looks to invade early, either level 1 or even like level 3, and so I just was warding that out because I had previous experience that the Olaf or like aggressive junglers would like to do that. I ping my Scion back to make sure that he knows that we're not fighting this, and I start to get the shove lead. So why I want to get the shove lead is because if your jungle is getting invaded on, the Zax's obviously not going to go to his blue. Let me swap to yellow here. The Zax's obviously not going to go to his blue, and so what is his other option? It's to get their blue. And so I need to be able to help my Zac secure the blue, alright? Maybe in lower elos you can't assume that your Zac would be smart enough to go for the enemy blue, but the higher elo you go, the more consistently they're going to make that, judgment call. So it looked like Syndra warded the right bush. Hard to know for sure, but it looks like she kind of did. I'm a king at missing CS. So right here, I take a Q and I don't reciprocate anything back. Kind of how some lane phases go as Ahri, but I think in this instance it's actually okay to trade your HP for the push lead. For instance, if we take a look, let me go back. Okay. For instance, if we take a look at, oh my god, I need to go back further. Right here. So when Syndra uses this Q on me, she uses it because I'm going for this last hit. So if you don't know, you always use spells when people are last hitting because they have to stand still. So she actually uses this Q on me when maybe it should have been used on the wave. So that's very, very good for me because my plan is not necessarily to fight her in lane. My plan is to make sure that my Zac doesn't lose the game right here. Because if he doesn't get this blue or any of these camps, it's looking real bad for him. Because if you don't know, Olaf can clear really fast and he's going to do all these camps. And if we can't get this, then that means Zac just has 3 camps and then he's forced to gank. And, she might have warded here and they probably warded over here. So, like, what the fuck is he going to do? Like, literally, it's just over for him for the next, like, minute and a half. um, so anyways, I start to try to get the shove lead. Make sure to not miss too many last hits, but it's not the end of the world if I do. I start pinging that she's missing. She's still level 1 though. She wards the blue, so she actually did end up warding this bush. And here's where the moment where the Syndra makes the mistake. The Syndra should just abandon the thought that, they can contest this, because my support's moving, and it's going to be a 4v3. And so if you're ever caught into this situation where you're, Olaf or something, like is pinging to go protect my blue, don't fall for it. It's just a bait by the jungler to make you lose the game. Because right now this is a 4v3, although Aphelios is pretty far. It'll be, a 2v or a 3v2 over here, on this side over here, and then a 1v1 over here, but I'm level 2 and she's level 1. And so always before you're moving, you want to make sure like you hit your level 2. Like the Syndra didn't hit level 2, she could have taken W and like W'd the buff and like thrown it somewhere. And that would have been really good by her. But you want to make sure you're not falling into the trap of your your team pinging when they don't know the full state. Like, do you think that whoever pinged to like contest this blue buff, do you think they like looked at Syndra and was like, she can contest this, she's level 1. Like, no, they were assuming that she was level 2 because it's around the time that, she would be level 2, but she isn't. So you need to make informed decisions for yourself. If you don't think you can contest this, then don't, which the Syndra unfortunately falls into the trap of. So we end up getting the kill here. Something that we could take note of is a very unfortunate reality for Ahri is that whenever you Q here, I have to actually run back a little bit, where in reality I want to run forward. Like if I was any other champion here, I'd be running forward to like keep up with her to stop her from getting to tower. However, with Ahri, you want your orb to obviously hit on the return, and so you actually have to backstep a little bit, which is not ideal for me because I want the true damage part to hit. And if the true damage part doesn't hit, then I don't get the kill probably. So we end up getting it anyways, and here I actually thought about this play for a long time. I've thought about this exact play for a long time, and like have dreams about it. But I think the most ideal thing to do right here is actually just to press B right now. Like just recall. So she's dead for 4 seconds. TP takes 3.5 seconds to recall. I get out. She can't push this in time because this is a cannon and she's level 1. She'll hit level 2 off like that creep or something. And she won't be able to push in time for the next wave to get here. And so if I just hit B right now, I'm secure to recall unless Olaf comes and throws an axe, which I think is pretty unlikely. Um, but why I need to recall immediately is because she has TP. Instead, I stay around, I miss a CS, and then I'm like, wait, she has TP. Ah, fuck. And then I think I recall, like, I think I'm out of vision, but I think she could see me there as she goes up. And so this ends up actually being in a very bad lane state when I literally just solo killed her. So even though like I got the solo kill, I'm actually behind slightly. If I was playing a champion like Orianna, I could go in for trades a lot more easily, but she could actually out-trade me right now by just QEing, autoing, so. We're just gonna let the wave come in a little bit and thin it out little by little. Very nice dodge. Give her the emote. We could talk about how to dodge Syndra spells. So whenever you're going for a last hit against a Syndra, especially the higher elo you go, you always have to be predicting that they're gonna throw a spell on you. Okay, like it's like the most obvious thing in the world. And this goes with other champions too, like Corki Q, Cass Q, almost any champion. Like Azir's gonna Q you, like especially when you're playing a champion like Ahri, where it's pretty hard to trade with against some of these champions because first of all, your trading isn't as powerful and isn't as guaranteed because you can't manage to hit charms, so you're stuck with just Q and W. And then especially if you take something like Glacial, you don't have a keystone early, so it makes it very difficult. And so whenever you're going for a last hit, you always want to be ready to like move out of the way or, be ready to do something. So whenever I go for last hits, I'm gonna go back a little bit. We're over explaining here, so it might take a little bit longer. But I think this is very important to understand how to lane against these champions. Because a lot of it is not necessarily about Ahri, it's about how to actually play the game, how to actually dodge skill shots. Right. So first of all, I'm clicking a lot. Clicking will generally help you dodge more because you're changing the direction you're moving more often, and you're able to redirect where you're moving. And so whenever I click this, I'm instantly ready to move. And I think you have to be like you have to be I guess just always like reactively know when your auto attack will go off so that you can, react as soon as you can. Honestly, the Syndra probably should have hit the stun no matter what, um, but she ends up missing. And so that's kind of some of the plays that you can do even in like lower elo. Like this person's D1 Syndra main, so they should definitely probably be hitting these, but they aren't used to someone actually like maybe moving as fast as I am potentially. And then that emote will tilt the fuck out of them. That was definitely used just to tilt them. Um, so right there, I don't go for the last hit. I maybe could have because her E was down. So maybe that's a slight mistake. I pinged that she warded up there. Here's where I should get queued. I could have actually dodged that one. But right here, I'm actually kind of okay trading some HP for her mana. Because if you haven't played Syndra recently, she actually goes very, very easily. And then here I ping the Olaf, show where he's going. Ping again where he is, because we're fighting bots, so they might not know where he is. Ping again. I think something why I wanted to ping this so much and is because they were fighting bot. So when you're fighting, generally you're not going to pay as much attention to the big important square on the bottom right of your screen because you're focusing on all this. And so giving them like reminders that like he's over here, he's here or something will let them know like maybe yeah, I need to recall and I can't push this wave or something, Um, I think, pinging too much can't hurt as long as it's useful pings. And if they don't like it, they can mute you. So here I'm kind of locked in the lane, but one of the hidden strengths of Ahri is actually her sustain. And so I am only down about like 25% of my health, whereas her mana has actually gone down almost more than 50%. So I'm actually doing very well, and I have Taste of Blood, so it's helping me sustain a lot. Here I shouldn't have to use W, but I was like insecure, I guess. So that's a random Q. That Q was actually good that she did that, like for me, because she used more mana. There I should probably get hit by another Q, but then she'd boom, so maybe I shouldn't. At this moment, I'm scared of Olaf. I need a side to play to, because if I just play in the middle of the lane, I just get Syndra stunned and die. I have no flash. She warded the right. I should have really warded as soon as this wave hit, so I didn't have to be as scared as I am, because she's low mana and she can't kill me. And here's kind of an adaptation that I've learned over the past few games is sometimes I go and I ward like here and I ward here, and that shows exactly what I'm doing because like I'm walking by the bush and warding. But also if Olaf's in that bush, I'm just dead. Like there's like nothing I can do. I get stunned in this angle here. Like it's a free stun and then Olaf is slowing me, so there's no way I can dodge. So I make sure that I walk around and then I ward. Very small thing, but like I would literally just die if he's in the bush. So even though we did see him path bot side, um, I think that is good to do. And here she's gonna stop my recall again. Nope, there he is. I know that if I walk up here, it's very dangerous because he just cleared my ward and he could just sit in the bush. Here I make sure I cancel my recall after she uses her spell so that I can get, you know, another 70 mana from her. And so now she's pretty useless. Here I think I go for the kill, which is kind of greedy. Oh yeah, and then it gets Shen ulted, yeah. Which it really sucks, because now I can't push out the wave because I went ooh. Oh, right. Yeah. Alright. So we'll take a look at this transaction. So here I know I'm about to hit 6. The wave's not in a super ideal spot for a 1v1. And then also we like 100% know that the Olaf is somewhere in this area. Like he's not going to come top probably because we just got solo kill top. And so he's probably in here or like over here, right? So going for the solo kill is honestly not necessary and probably just stupid. Even though I could win it if like things go a little bit differently. Maybe I could charm. I think maybe I tried for the charm a little bit earlier, but I thought I had it. That's funny. Palafox takes me down. So yeah, I think going for the 1v1 there was actually just a mistake because we're making a play bot, because our Zack's getting Scuttle Crab, and I could just have pushed in the wave since I was level 6, she would need to be scared. So, something to talk about with my item buy. So I had 1760 gold, and I decided to go with the boots plus the Lost Chapter. Um, Against Syndra, it's actually very good to rush Merc Treads early. Because she stuns you and combos you, and the magic resist will save you from her killing you, as well as getting out of the stun. You know, you're able to R out and dodge her like W or something. Um, so buying Merc Treads early is generally what I will do. However, since I went B on so much money, like I got the first blood, I was in lane for a very long time because she TP'd me back or TP'd back and locked me in the lane. Um, I think buying Lost Chapter here is more of the playstyle I want to go to and just attack our mana pool. I think when Syndra was super OP, like 2 patches ago, it was even better to buy Merc Treads because you didn't like because she didn't have mana problems, but now she actually has some mana problems, and so you could just out sustain her with Lost Chapter and just spam Q on the wave, and don't go for any trades. Just have her waste mana on the wave. It's kind of the idea here. I'd be especially more willing to go Lost Chapter if I had my ult up, but since I do have my flash coming up, I think it's okay to actually go for the Lost Chapter rather than the Merc Treads. But Merc Treads will be super good this game because the Syndra and then the Varus CC, and then also I believe what they had a Senna, I think. I don't remember. I think it was Senna. A lot of roots and CCs. So here I'm just checking to make sure our red's not taken, if I need a collapse. I think I actually approached this lane from the wrong angle, I guess you could say. I should hug the back wall a little bit and then move in so that he doesn't know I just came from the side, because then he can maybe predict that I used a control word there. I don't think this player is good enough to like ping that out or do anything about that, but like pros will. So okay, just waste my Q for some reason. I don't know why I did that. But here she has her R and I don't, so I need to be very careful. My controller gets cleared. Maybe I shouldn't have placed it there. Maybe I should have just placed a regular one. I let my team know where the Olaf is. So right here, I need to watch out for her stun. I think I get hit by this one. Yeah, that was stupid. Why did I do that? We see Syndra bot are doing dragon. Alright, so here I do something very Ahri specific that I think people don't use enough. We'll wait to make sure I don't like enter something here. Alright. Right. So oftentimes as Ahri, you're gonna get traded on a lane and it's gonna be unfavorable. But like I was saying earlier, one of the hidden strengths of Ahri is that she actually has a lot of sustain. Especially if you take Taste of Blood, if it's a hard matchup. However, I have 6 stacks of my Q passive, her former passive, and instead of just queuing the wave here and then like trying to get 2 Qs, instead what I do is I just W the wave and get 3 stacks from my W, and then Q to heal a bunch. Ideally, I probably auto attack the last or like the far creeps. And so even though she hits me with all that, I'm about the same HP as I was before this wave got here. And so, but yeah, just looking to sustain. Throwing a Q on the blue buff wouldn't even be that bad. Or if I had a ward on the blue buff, Wing the blue buff would have been like a pretty good play. So right now I'm left at a awkward 5 stacks, so it's not as ideal. We need to be careful of the jungler. We don't want to get stunned and die. We did not buy Merc Treads, so dying is actually a possibility, even though we, have solo killed her. She's looking for the stun. We walk away, tilt her. Sorry. Our Zac went B, and so I know that we can't go for this play because it'd be a 2v2 or 2v3 because Syndra would come up, and then we'd obviously lose that. But so you'll notice that I'm kind of trading HP. How I'm playing this lane is like I'm trading HP and then I'm just like sustaining it. It's like I'm okay taking the damage because I know I'm gonna heal it back, and I know that like she's not gonna kill me in the time where I haven't healed it back. So she like just uses her E there. Like I'm just gonna key the wave again. And then you can know that Syndra's about to go B because like you don't want to just be using your E like that unless you want to like hard shove. And usually you only want to hard shove like that if you're like looking to go B. That's not always the case, but can be the case. Can't believe that hit. That's actually insane. If that hit, I was gonna R. Just future reference. I think it's important that I didn't R because we know. What do we know? So first of all, we know the Olaf is over here. He just did crab. If you weren't watching the minimap, so he just did crab. So he's over here somewhere. And so if we go for an extended play on this, um, then we could die, which that would be very bad. And so what I'm waiting for is I know I'm not going to die to this. I played enough Syndra to know how much damage she does. I Q, I make sure I get my taste of blood proc, and then I also get my passive move speed from my hitting twice. So the passive move speed gives me just enough to dodge that very easily. Um, and then here I actually just wait, and if that E hit, then I was gonna RE and RE. But I think waiting there is important because if I commit too early and that misses, then it's like I have to like R it and ignite, and she might not die, and like all this different stuff. But here she goes for the TP back. LSCS. Ping Olaf with that Herald. Go very far to recall this time because I definitely don't want to get locked in the lane. Because if I get locked in the lane here, I actually might be able to sustain, and it might be okay because I want to get my GLP, but also at the same time, you have to keep in mind, okay, Olaf just did Herald, so what is his next play going to be? He's going to look to use it somewhere. So he might look to use it mid, and if he's looking to use it mid, he's going to go for the dive on me. And if he dives me, I'm just going to R away 3 times, and that's going to be it. Like, I'm not going to be able to kill Olaf, or I'm not going to be killing full health Syndra. So I think a good play for them right here would be to Herald mid, but it seems like they weren't paying enough attention for that to actually happen. My voice is like dying, honestly. So he ends up getting top, and then this guy just ults out. So something to note is Olaf's flash wasn't up for that. It actually just came up like now, I believe, because he flashed on me earlier. I think I had timed it. So here I would do a little bit of an oopsie. So, I mean, when you're level 8 as Ahri, what will happen is if you don't use like all the minion dematerializers on the range creeps, um, then you will actually end up getting all the creeps to this 1 HP threshold right here. And so what you should do is instead of getting them all to 1 HP, is you should auto attack them once each, and then Q. So I just wasn't paying attention, I guess. So you can assume Olaf is maybe around the area, but he has no ult. Gonna get a quick drink. There we go, nice and clean. Here I actually misplayed a little bit. What should have happened is I shouldn't have had to use stopwatch. I don't know why I walked so close. I thought he was gonna walk away, is the thing. But I shouldn't have had to use stopwatch there, so that was actually kind of a mistake by me. I could have had it for future plays. But as you can see, I was actually ready for this Olaf to make this play because I knew his flash had come up and I was watching top to know that he didn't use his flash top. So you can just watch this one more time. We'll watch the we'll watch the mechanics more this time. We'll watch like how I use my spells and see if anything could have been done differently. So right here, she Qs, but then she E's, so kind of unfortunate for her, she couldn't go for a stun. And then right here is when I actually ignite, because you might think we could probably kill this person without ignite. We know Olaf is topside, we know he's full health, so we know he's around this area somewhere, like around here. So we know he can come for the counter gank here. And earlier we actually had seen that Syndra was playing aggressive for very like little reason, maybe to get some poke on me that I probably would have healed up. But like we could have imagined maybe Olaf was over here, and so he could still be around this area. And so why ignite early is if we get all our damage out now, like rather than the ignite doing 140 damage, we can have it do 200 damage. And getting more damage off with the ignite is gonna be like impactful if we can save an auto or save a spell or something. Um, and so it's not just to kill secure, but it's also to do the max damage with ignite as we can. Um, and that was quite a nice R back. And here I just walk up too far. I don't know why. I maybe thought he was gonna like walk back, and I also didn't even need to Zanyas because he's sharped. I could have just queued. So very bad Zanyas from me, or stopwatch. Here I'm level 9, so one shots the creeps now. Charm into Q, and then we go for the reset. So right here I'd expect myself to buy Null Magic Mantle and the GLP. And controlled, yeah, that's why I would buy myself. Wow, this Ahri player must be on the same wavelength as me. Here I look to time Olaf, or I look to time Syndra's flash. So I have GLP now, Syndra has no flash, it's like literally a free kill. Ping out where she's going. My bot lane thankfully backs up, and she gets nothing from it. I think, right? I don't push this very effectively. If this was a alternatively, what could happen here is if this wasn't a Shin, and I knew this was like a TP-less top laner, is maybe possible that I actually go defend top right here. Like for instance, say it's like a Fiora or something, it might be more beneficial to defend top here and just have them 4v4. But I think that's a judgment call that's hard to make. Because, you know, yeah. She's like healing through my autos with the honey fruit. Alright, so some minor things to keep in mind with this is we kill the Syndra. I think that was pretty obvious. Like, we don't need to use anything except for W on her. I are here because I haven't seen Shen ulti, and I would have seen like the glowy effect on the map. And so we know Shen has ulti, and we're thinking about that, and so we need to make sure like we kill the guy. And I don't want my Scion to die, so I end up just using R. It's actually a pretty short cooldown, and especially, you know, since I already have my GLP at 25% CDR. So you have to think about like what effectively is my R cooldown, because they're dead for 12 seconds. All right. let's actually keep in like mind how, I guess, like how many seconds my R is effectively on cooldown. So it's already been like 4 seconds, so it was like a minute 30. When would be the next time I could possibly even use my R? I guess is the answer, or like the answer to the question is like, when will I even see an enemy champion next? Because Syndra just respawned, so she has to run from base all the way back to lane, and then I'm going to be going B. So so it's been another 30 seconds. Merchants and to Fiendish. I think Aether Wisp could be okay, but it's been 45 seconds. So my R cooldown actually hasn't been that impactful yet. I mean, I think using R there was good, but just to put it into more perspective. Here I'm losing a whole wave to go for this. I ping Syndra in the bush, yeah, and she's there. Here I get her flash. I think that actually was gonna miss, but she would die anyways if she didn't flash, so. And here is a questionable call I made. No, I think it's the right call. The questionable call is I could have maybe pinged them off bot, because Syndra is still there. Like, I knew Syndra would probably go bot for that tower dive. But I think I should have just pinged them off bot and told them to leave, because if they just stay and like say they like did kill all the creeps in time, Syndra would have just killed them. So. Easy. And so why do I go for this 1v1? So right here we see Olaf. See, this is the important thing. Is we see. Let's go back a little bit more so we can just show everyone. So we just saw Senna and Varus. We're looking at the mini map right now. We see Senna Varus. Okay, we see Syndra running back, so we know she's coming. All right. Then we see Olaf going B. We see Shen top. All right. Shen still doesn't have R up. Shen R is actually a pretty long cooldown. And so then we see her coming on this ward, and this is just disrespectful by her. She doesn't think I'll actually go in on this because I don't know. I don't know why she doesn't think I will. And so here, maybe potentially it's better if I don't W immediately. But I could get 2 Ws off, so maybe it is actually good. But yeah, we know Syndra doesn't have flash, so it was just like a free kill. Keeping in mind, like when a mobile champion's okay. Okay. Thanks, Tempos. Keeping in mind a mobile champions, when they have flash is like super important. Here I stay just to clear this wave because I actually don't have enough for my Aether Wisp, whereas if I get this wave, then I would have enough. So now I have enough for an Aether Wisp, which is very good for me. I call it that Syndra could be bot because Syndra could just one-shot this Aphelios because she still has ult. So, and I tell him to come watch mid, which unfortunately, I think Syndra should have gone bot here. So I think it's weird that she is mid. But I think it's a mistake for our Aphelios to go for the Krugs here, because he could just be catching mid farm and being at this play. But that's okay. I let him know she has no F. They probably aren't looking at the chat anyways, but so yeah, our Aphelios should have been at this play, but it's okay. So now I need to go top. We look at this play. I think this is a little bit questionable. Because they have the Shen. Yeah. That was stupid. Actually, I think it works out still. 200 years. I can't believe that doesn't kill him. But I guess it didn't matter. Why didn't I charm? Wait, am I blind? Oh wait, was it on cooldown? No, I could charm. I went for the auto instead of the charm. I think I still die because the auto's in midair, but it's kind of stupid of me. Here I'm like trying to tell the Scion to kill this person because he has ult. I think like if the Scion was paying attention, the Senna dies. So, just a weird interaction there. Anyways, Dragon's coming up, so that's what we're going to be playing for next. I end up buying my Twin Shadows. I can maybe swap to a Sweeper here. I'm going to be buying Zhonya's next because Zhonya's is particularly good into Syndra because you can obviously Zhonya's her ult. It's also very good into Olaf because Olaf is a champion that relies on his R a lot, and if you just Zhonya's while he's hitting you, it like wastes 2.5 seconds of his R, so it's very strong in that sense too. And then also if you get Verisard as R, you're just dead, but if you have a Zhonya's, maybe you can live because you can Zhonya's then R away. I don't know what this sounds. What he's thinking, but here we split the money from the ward. We see Syndra go B. But she has TP, she has TP, so she's probably gonna TP back immediately. We end up starting this and I tell them to back off because this is just stupid. Look at our team. Our team is getting mid prio, which is good. Getting mid prio before you do a dragon is good because you're denying them creeps and having them, forcibly go hold the wave there. Um, but you shouldn't start the dragon because, we're not in a very good position to fight. I end up using my twin shadows here. I think using it a little bit earlier actually might have been better, but I think I didn't expect our team to engage this fast. Like I think we could have waited for them to come up a little bit sooner. But very good twin shadows actually. It's like on the perfect line where I hit Varus and Senna, and then she had a flash out. It's actually very good twin shadows. And here's Olaf. I ignite him. Then I get the Zillion ult. Luckily Shen kills me for some reason. Here I ping that I can kill Syndra because I have my GLP. But then no one follows me. So it's a little bit weird. I expected Zach to follow me, but he didn't, so. I think we get her anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm just soloing this blue buff. Anyways, if you guys didn't know, you can also solo this blue buff when it's Infernal Rift without taking any damage by kiting it around these things. Actually, I know for sure this one, but I'm not sure for sure that one. But essentially, it actually doesn't leash for some reason. Like, it doesn't lose patience when you just walk it around this. So, it's very good for Ahri, as Ahri is a champion that actually, like, takes damage to kill blue. So, yeah. In this game, by the way, I decided to go for the Emax second when I normally do Qmax. I think it was mainly because we have a lot of damage already, and so I wanted the CC. But also, I think I've been overrating Wmax for a little bit. So I wanted to give Emax more of a try this game, and I think it was very good, very very good. I think I'll probably be doing it more often. Here I use my twin shadows because I'm going to go B after this wave, and why I'm going to go B is obviously to get like my items since I haven't B'd after. And so if I use my twin shadows here, it's going to be up for the next thing we can test, and it lets me push this wave safely. Like if Olaf was here, then I'd have to ult away, but since I have the twin shadows, I'd be able to see if he was actually there. I'm moving over to blue buff. This would be a good time for Sion to rotate bot, but he wants to push top. He also just wasted his ult, so maybe we can't. It's very bad for Sion to waste his ult since I don't have TP. But in that last fight, I ignited the Olaf early because something you have to keep in mind is not only is ignite like like the true damage, but it's also the healing reduction. And so, like, if your team doesn't have healing reduction, for instance, I don't think Sion has any, or I don't have any, and I don't think Aphelios has any. And so if I actually ignite him early, then he has healing reduction on him the whole time, because he's gonna die in less than 3 seconds if he has that on him. And then not only that is like, as Glacial Ahri, you don't actually want to be taking all the kills particularly. Like, you're more of like a supportive style, but also like you still do a lot of damage. Like, I'd say it's better for Aphelios to get the kills rather than me. And so like if you ignite early, you're not getting the kill. That's just like a side effect, I guess. But that shouldn't be like your reason, I guess. Here, I barely miss, and I get out. Here, my team doesn't know what Ahri does. I think I tell them I want to queue the wave here. But like, they don't understand what Ahri does. I would have healed to like full if I queued it. But they don't know what Ahri does, so. So here when Sion says I split, he should split bottom. But instead he goes top. So I was very confused about that because I think that should have been my wave. Since he has ult, he can actually get to the fight fairly quickly. And I should ping this back. This is stupid. This is so stupid. So the good thing I do is I don't actually do I end here. Do I end here? Oh wait, Scion smurfs it. So I want to make sure I don't die here because it's definitely a win angle. However, he flash E's me, so did not expect that one. But at least we got Olaf flash. And then Olaf flash won't be up for the Inferno, which is really big, but mine won't be up either. It's not soul quite yet, but so why that fight was so bad is not only because we missed stuff, but at the same time, like we shouldn't be doing this when our wave is crashing top and bot. And like I have my R coming up in like 15 seconds, so pinging your team off when you don't have your R available is always going to be pretty good. As you can see, this fight I ignite the Olaf early too. Unfortunately, they just get popped though, so it wasn't actually a particularly good ignite. I maybe could have used it later. There he gets. I did not expect. I honestly didn't expect the flash at all. At least he lives. But yeah. Skip forward a bit. I tell my team I really need Zanyas for these fights because generally when you're playing against Syndra, why it's a lot of Ahri players actually ban Syndra because what will happen is you'll get into a fight and you're gonna press R as Ahri, surprise, and then you E, you know, but then the Syndra presses Q and R and like you're dead. So if you have Zanyas, then at least you can press Zanyas and then you know she'll waste her ult. Um, and then she'll probably E you out of it and still kill you, but then she used all of her spells on you and no one else on your team. So um, that's just something to keep in mind why Zanyas is such a good item into Syndra. Here I get to push top and then run over down to Dragon. Maybe could have pushed it slightly slower. If I pushed it slower, then Varus would be top for longer and maybe not here for the fight. My Scion is looking to escape through their place. Varus will be mid in a second. And that is Olaf R. And Olaf R is super big. Olaf's kind of like their most important person right now. We got Mr. 200 Years firing away. So here I don't mind if Shen actually taunts me. Unfortunately he doesn't, but I wouldn't have minded. So that's why I was kind of like walking over there. Like I still have R, I still have a bunch of stuff. Close. I think that was a pretty good try for the charm. We can watch this fight again. I think the GLP is good. I think the charm is obviously very good because he's knocked up. That's good. That's good. Dodge it. R forward. Maybe I twin shadows than IE actually. Yeah, I twin shadows than IE and we win the game, or we get probably 2 more kills actually because Zillion. Wow, that's actually a big mistake. I didn't realize my twin shadows was up. We might kill Shen because of it? I think he's dead regardless. I get the assist. I actually think I might get the kill. Here I should probably push mid. I don't know why I'm walking over to this dragon to hit it once. What am I doing? I should have pushed mid. What am I doing? Ah. That's actually a huge mistake because I think we lose mid tower here. And during the game, wow, how delusional am I? During the game, I was like, why is Aphelios doing Raptors and not defending the mid tower? Like, to myself, I didn't like obviously say that out loud or anything, but like, I was like blaming Aphelios for why the mid tower went down, but like, why did I walk over to Dragon? Man, I am so stupid. That is crazy. That's why watching a replay can sometimes be good sometimes, as long as you can identify your mistakes. So I'm going to go for blue here, but it's actually not that important on me because I have 45% CDR already. I honestly think that like it might be better on Zillion, honestly. I ping that I'm going to do top clear and then do the blue. I think is pretty reasonable. And here's where the game gets very questionable. This is where I don't know exactly what to do. And we can see we have like 8 minutes or so left. Here's where the game gets a little bit kooky, I guess. This would definitely be better on Zillion, honestly. So I need to go top here, I think, and I just trust my team won't get caught. Because the enemy team's going for a play bot. And here's just like this 1 minute where I just don't know what the right play is. There's definitely a few wrong plays. So there's several plays that can happen. I'm gonna wait. I know what happens here. Wait. So like right here, I'm doing nothing, which I think is a big problem. Like we have no jungle camps up. If I go top, I can farm it pretty safely. Olaf's down here, but I'm just like ping-ponging them the wave, and I don't know if that's like the correct thing to do. Well then it gets even worse. Like I think I should just go top. And so here I thought about going B and going bot, but then they just Shen TP into the Baron. So I don't exactly know what to do here. I think I just push top, because I think I'm safe enough. But instead I just like run mid over and over for some reason, like I'm looking for a pick. When it's gonna be a 4v5, so. But now at this point I feel like it's unsafe to go top. So like now I'm like, I just don't know what to do. But it's like, I've literally walked around for like 2 minutes doing nothing. And I got blue buff. Like this whole time I got blue buff, I didn't do anything with it. This is the max I've done with it. Oh, the Syndra should have died maybe. Huh. We should have got Syndra Flash here, I think. Actually, we didn't have Zac. Maybe it's too risky to go for. And so I think the correct play over these past 2 minutes was probably just to be top, I think. And just like last hitting the minions, not necessarily pushing, because I don't think we could actually do anything unless Scion's there to really engage, because Scion didn't have TP and they can just Shen R. So I think we just play safe and wave clear, and I think it would have been particularly useful if our mid tower was still alive too. So I think this was like a lot of places that I made mistakes in that could like actually cost games eventually. Is like not farming and like doing nothing. I don't know. That's really peculiar. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things I was like, what do I fucking do? So we got Dragon coming up very soon. Something to note about Dragon is Scuttle's also respawning, so if we can secure that, that's also really good. I don't think I'll hit 6 in time for the Dragon fight, so there's that.
Don't hold back.
I think my reasoning for the control ward there was I'm going to place my next one at Dragon for the Dragon fight. And we pretty much get full vision over the Baron, like they're not going to go over the wall. And it was like a safe to do because I didn't actually know where all of them were. So here I can push mid or I can run to the fight. I think, yeah, I just opt to run. I opt to run to the fight. But yeah, I think running to the fight is best. I'm not wasting Twin Shadows till I know I can actually get something. If the Center W hits me, I know I'm okay because I have Zanya's.
Tell me a secret.
And here's a pretty good play by me, I think. Twin Shadows here, and then I go for the charm, and he has to ult, because if he doesn't ult, he just dies. And so then we just back out. I should ping my team to just back up, I think. Nice, camera went wild there. Here's where the Zanyas comes in hand. Oh. I thought he was gonna go for me, but he didn't have vision of me, and so I was gonna charm his top, but here I am hitting the dragon for no reason. So we can take a look at this fight again. So we get Infernal Soul, the game's pretty much over after that because we go get Baron and then we win. Um, but there's a bunch of key moments on, I guess, lessons on how to play Glacial Ahri um, from this fight. Is when there is like a carry on the enemy team, if you could focus them out and get them to use their spells like Flash or Zanya's or Olaf ult in this case, then it's very, very good because you're just trading one active item for like their most important part. And so I don't even have to R here, I just have to charm and then he has to ult. So that's very good. And then after this, we should just back out and do dragon and then we win. Uh, but instead we decided to coin flip it a little bit and go for this fight when they obviously have it warded. Uh, but there I R really fast because I saw his intention. And why I was so okay with R'ing forward here, even though there was a Syndra, is because I have Zanyas. If I didn't have Zanyas, I think I had to play this a lot safer than normal. And then she's just gonna go for the R on me, but I mean, it's not like R'ing Zac would have done anything different. There I go for the E flash on Syndra, a little bit to the side, and she ends up flashing it, but she flashes into Zac E, so. So very good fight. I think this actually would have been a really good game to get a Dark Seal, and then build into a Magi's because we have so much ways to like keep us alive. Like we have Zac to tank for a long time, we have Sion to tank for a long time, then we have Zillinal. I think Magi's would have been actually very good this game, so I actually should have built that. So yeah, then we get Baron. I don't really care about the rest of this game. I think we just kill Shen or something. Then we win. But yeah. Um, then I just like mess around with Olaf and laugh at him. So you'll notice in a lot of these fights, I don't use all my R charges, like, I use them very slowly, and I think that's very specific to Glacial Ahri, and especially these team fights that last a long time. I think Leandri's also would have been very good this game, because of how long these fights were going. And so like you'll see like, I've already used, 2 R charges, but then I used my third one, and it was like already almost timed out, and I think there was a fight back here where I do the same thing. Um, I don't remember where. But essentially, like, when you're playing Electrocute R, you're actually using your R for the damage, whereas Glacial is just mainly about the positioning. It's not always the case with Electrocute R. Obviously, you're going to be using it to dash and range and then charm, but I'd say more often than not, like, the R on Glacial R is used just as a repositioning tool to get the charms that your team can kill them, or to get your GLP off, or to do something like that. Um, I think this game was probably winnable with Electrocute Ahri, but I think Glacial made it slightly easier because I was able to get the Olaf ult with just using my, Twin Shadows. Like, there was a lot of, like, things that, like, I was able to get from the enemy team just, like, there was, like, one fight where I got the, Senna Splash because I used GLP. There was one fight I got, um, Syndra's Flash, I think, from using GLP. like in the behind our red. And so like there's a lot of things that GOP will give you that won't actually, or like Glacial will give you that won't actually be obvious at first glance. I think Electrocute Ahri with buying GOP is also particularly good. I would like suggest that if you want to play Electrocute Ahri at a higher elo, because GLP is like such a strong item on her, because you can look to RN and get a good GLP and force cooldowns. But obviously Ludens will make you do more damage. But just barely, honestly, because you'll get two Ludens procs and allow damage GLP. But yeah, um, looking back this game, um, I think I definitely can just improve on doing the side lane to make sure I don't int. Making sure I'm not fighting with my ult. These are all things I kind of know, but like I don't know why I didn't do it this game. And then making sure I'm not wasting time like attacking the dragon when my team already has it, or attacking Baron when my team already has it, or um, maybe not even taking the blue buff when I already have 45% CDR and have no mana problems. I think there's definitely things I can improve on. So that's good because if I have things to improve on, then you know that'll be if I guess like what I'm trying to say is if I'm already like 400 LP and I have things to improve on, then maybe if I improve on these things, I can get 500 LP or something. Doesn't exactly work like that, but like you get the idea. I think my communication with my pings was really good this game, um, because I was like pinging like where enemies are, where the Olaf is. I think my level 1 ward was particularly good. Like I said, you can watch my other video if you want to like hear more about that or why that was so important for our game. Um, but yeah, had fun this game. Had fun doing this commentary. I think it's been like an hour. I've been like talking nonstop. That's kind of crazy. My voice is like dying. Um, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I will see you next video. Peace.